Well, welcome everybody to our webinar on the Oregon UAS Accelerator application that opened up on Friday. My name is Tom Perkowski. I'm the Interim Executive Director for the Accelerator, and welcome to what we're going to do today. This is a quick agenda. Throughout this presentation, we have a series of QR codes that are there for you to scan, from our website to our social media links and whatnot. We aim to get all these resources up on our website within about 24 to 48 hours. So we'll post the slides along with the video recording, etc. This webinar is being recorded, just so you know. And again, within a day or two, we'll have it up on the website if you want to go back and review it. Again, if you've got a question, please post it to the Q&A tab, and that's being monitored by Steve Lawn, who's the chief engineer for the range, and the other person with me is Steve Chrisman, the economic development and airport director today. So let's get started. Let's tell you a little bit about the Pendleton UAS range if you don't know. Why would you come to Pendleton to fly? Well, as I look outside, there's a lot of nothing out here, and that is a fantastic thing to have when you're out flight testing. We've got 14,000 square miles of a lot of nothing here at the Pendleton UAS range. And that's why we're one of the busiest private ranges in the country right now. We're approaching 50,000 UAS operations. The other great thing about here is that we've got airspace up to 15,000 feet MSL. So you can not only test in a wide range of climate and terrain, but you can go up into the mountains, among other things, given our very, very high ceiling. We also have, this is also a towered airport, so we have air service in here. So if you need to bring in, additional people, VIPs, customers, easy to fly them in from Portland, PDX Airport into Pendleton for day trips or overnights. We've got a hotel on site here at the airport. It's about a 2-minute walk from the airport terminal. We've done a variety of testing here at the range over the last decade. I'm not going to read off all of these, but we have, there hasn't been anything pretty much that we haven't been able to test here is basically the answer to can I test it in Pendleton? The answer is probably overwhelmingly yes, you can test here. We also have an incredible diversity given our location. We're up on a plateau, which makes us extremely private too from a testing environment. The town, which is a great place to stay and to eat when you're staying here for long periods of time. But the airport is sort of up and out of the way, but we are very close to a wide range of test environments that you may want to either, if you've got a product or a service, to be working on, building up how you're going to commercialize that product or service. So a little bit about the accelerator. Where do we get the funding? Well, this is a brand new initiative, both for us, and it comes from the Business Oregon, who's our funding source. They have set up 5 what are called Centers of Innovation Excellence. That's a kind of a state term. But for us, what's important is we've received a $2.25 million grant over the course of 2 years. We received the second largest award, and I think that's an indication of how important UAS is to the state in terms of a key industry that they want to develop. The great thing, for those here in Oregon, when you buy your lottery tickets, the money that you don't win goes in to helping fund initiatives like this, which is a fantastic use of those funds. So these are some of the, what we set out when we submitted our application. We want to make Oregon the clear first choice for UAS development. And with the 3 ranges we have, with really Pendleton taking the lead with being the busiest and the most and the largest of the three test ranges. If you need to test your unmanned aircraft system or your business model, Pendleton, Oregon is the place to be, and Oregon in general is a place to be. We also have the Tillamook range here, which is access to the ocean if you need to be testing things that need to fly out over water. What we're doing with the accelerator specifically is we're charged with providing entrepreneurs with the support they need to turn their idea into products. And we're specifically looking for ideas that are currently products or services that need to be tested, and then giving you guys access to a wide range of benefits, which we'll go over in more detail in a moment here. So let's tell you a little bit about the program that we're putting together right now. Cohort 1 is the first cohort that we're going to be bringing through using this grant funding, and it's going to be based in our World War II hangar, which is a huge facility with a lot of space. So this is where our workspaces will be set. But it's also, if you've got an indoor flying drone service, etc., it's also a space where you can test indoors as well in a safe environment. So what are you going to get as part of the if you're accepted into cohort 1? Well, part of it is this $40,000 non-dilutive award. We take no equity stake in your business. It's, again, our goal through Business Oregon is to help you succeed as a business, and that's hence the award. We provide you workspace and storage. You have access to the range staff and the facilities here at the Pendleton range. You get flight time, again, access to that, the infrastructure, which we talked about before, and then training, both technical, business, product, and then pitch training. So what are some of the benefits? This is just a short list of the many things that you'll get. We're continuing to build this out of what we're going to be offering our innovators when they're here for the period of time. So everything from having workspaces on a hangar floor to access to our machine shop and our many business partners that have signed up to work with us in this program. So this is our schedule for cohort 1. It's a little hard to read, but kind of the main thing here is we want you to be on site, especially if you have equipment that needs to be checked in by May 31st. That's the Friday after Memorial Day. And we're going to ask that if you've got anything large equipment that you let us know in advance, and we'll cover that more in the post award interview with you. We're going to have a 12-week summer program with a break for July 4th and then Labor Day before we get into our pitch camp. And we'll go over a little bit more in detail what pitch camp is and our investor roundup here on the next couple of slides. So pitch camp is preparation for the Pendleton Investor Roundup, which is our penultimate event of our first cohort. Basically, all part of the 12 weeks will be working on you with helping you develop the various slides in your pitch deck. And we're going to use a standard pitch deck format for all the companies. So we can easily teach that to you. So if you need to develop a pitch deck, either to get, to talk to investors, talk to corporates that are interested in your innovations, or even talk to the bank about getting a loan, this will be an excellent opportunity to develop that, practice it, and then pitch live to investors. Our investor roundup is cohabitated, for lack of a better word, with the Pendleton, the world famous Pendleton Roundup. And this is a great event that happens the week of September 9th, and we're going to take advantage of that. And there's lots of people from all over the world that show up, and those with deep pocketbooks will be invited to our Pendleton Investor Roundup. We planned 2 full days of events. The first day, we're going to be doing tours of the range and accelerator facilities. This is a great opportunity for you to show off your innovations to the VIPs that are going to be here. Then we're going to move over to Hanley's Slick Force Saloon, where we're going to be holding our event. And after lunch, we'll have our pitches, and then follow that by reception and entertainment. So plenty of time for you to be networking with the many VIPs that we plan on having out here for this event. The evening, again, another chance for networking is a VIP experience at the bull riding that we have here on Monday and Tuesday in advance of the roundup. And then Wednesday, there's going to be an all-inclusive VIP rodeo experience for our companies and about 10 other VIPs that we're going to invite. Again, a great networking experience for you as part of this. All right, so some of the content we're going to be providing. A lot of lunch and learns, technical. We've got a long list of technical partners that you can find on our website. And please look at that in terms of who's working with us. We're also going to teach you the business skills that you need to commercialize your product. We're working on getting in the lean startup methodology. This is kind of helping you with making sure that you've got good product market fit for your product. And then lastly, as I mentioned, our pitch preparation to get you ready for our investor roundup. We also have a lot of activities going on here at the range. We're going to have our mentor program, so you'll have a chance to interact with our mentors. Our monthly drinks and drones, which is a very popular event here at the range with our many tenants that are flying their UAS systems every day here. Networking, of course, with your peers within the cohort and kind of learning from each other. We have supply chain events through our partnerships with the Gorge Tech Alliance, as well as PNDC, the Pacific Northwest Defense something, there's a C, coalition, thank you. And then lastly, we expect many VIP visits to happen while the cohort is here that we'll be arranging. So the application, it's up right now. Here's the link to it on Google Forms. We have a few requirements as part of this. In order to get the most out of what we're doing, you really need to have a solution that's ready to be tested. If you're at the ideation phase, that's great. There's other programs in the state or around the country for that part that can help you incubate that idea. And then, of course, stay tuned for our cohort 2 or cohort 3 when you're ready. But we're really looking for products that are in that state, products or services, if you're testing out your business plan, that are in that development, kind of a little bit more fully baked and ready for testing. And because of that, you need to be taking advantage of one of our ranges in Oregon to test your product. Now, if you're testing something that needs to be flown out over the ocean, Pendleton may not be right for you, although we do have a large lake. If you're practicing landing or overflying of bodies of water, we do have those here on the range for you. But if you do need to be out in the ocean, our sister range down in Tillamook might be a better fit. Also asking that the founder must be here in Pendleton to participate in our pitch camp. So if you're testing down in Tillamook for the summer, we need you up here to participate in pitch camp so we can help you get ready to put out the absolute best pitch on Tuesday, September 10th to the audience that's going to be there. This is a big step for you when you're going to testing your product, and really at least one member of the team must be working on the solution full time during the time of the cohort programming over the summer. And then lastly, the founder must participate in the program. We really need a key executive from the company to be participating in the program to have that level of buy-in. So vehicle eligibility, this is just stuff, we're a fairly large runway, but we do still have some limits. If you're a runway takeoff landing at 7,000 feet, probably not going to be a good fit for you. unless you're working on getting that down to under 6,000 feet. Plus, if your wheelbase in your vehicle is over 150 feet, again, we're not able to support you here because our maximum runway width is 150 feet. We also have a high-end speed limit of 250 knots. And then, if you need to fly above 15,000 feet MSL, again, we're not necessarily a good fit. But if you can fit if your vehicle fits within those characteristics, we are a great place for you to bring your innovation. So the timeline for cohort 1, the applications, like I said, are currently open. They'll close at 5 p.m. on March 31st. We'll be conducting interviews throughout April and notifying everyone that applied on May 1st, whether or not they made it in. Again, I mentioned arrive in May. So as soon as we let you know that you made it into the cohort, you're welcome to bring your innovation out here and start to do your development and testing. However, again, no later than May 31st if you're bringing equipment, because we are kicking off promptly on June 3rd with our onboarding. As I mentioned, our big pitch day is September 10th, and then our facilities will be available to you at least until the end of the year, because our cohort 2 will be kicking off in January. So resources, if you've got questions, and we've already seen a number of questions come in via email, this is our email address, cohort@OregonUASAccelerator.com. The FAQs are working on FAQs. As you send in questions, we're coming up with standard answers to those questions. They will be added to our website, and this webinar recording, along with the slides, will be added to our website in 24 to 48 hours as well. All right, so as I mentioned, plan ahead. If you're not quite ready for us yet, cohort 2 applications are going to be opening October 1st. And that program will start right at the start of the new year, in January 6th. We plan on running 2 cohorts a year. So cohort 3, a year from now, applications will be open for cohort 3 with the program starting on June 2nd. So again, if you're in that ideation phase, please keep us in mind. We are here at the Pendleton UAS test range, the best place to test your UAS innovation, product, sensor, software system, service offering. We are the best place to test anywhere. And we want to get you in here at some point in time. All right, we've got a number of ways to engage with us. Our marketing firm, DDRC, is on call with us today. They do a fantastic job of pushing out stuff on our website and our social media channels. So please follow us there. That's where we push a lot of information out that's kind of even more real time that we can get up on the website. So, at a minimum, LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, be watching there for updates. And with that, all right, I left 40 minutes for questions. So I hope my fast talking didn't go too fast for everybody, but we will have the webinar up. So I'm going to open it up for questions. Do we have, please put your questions in the Q&A, or I think we've got 8 people. We're a relatively small group. If you have a question, also raise your hand and I'll unmute you. So
we have none in the queue yet, but some of the ones that came in through email over the weekend and this morning, is this a one-time offering or is it ongoing? It kind of was covered in the final slides there, but it is ongoing. So every 6 months or so, a new cohort will start. So like Tom said, if you're not ready this time, wait for the next one, and it should keep coming. And then
we have Brian has a question. Let me allow Brian to talk here, and we've got one in the queue. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Brian, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having us. Great talk. Awesome hearing about the facilities. I was curious, with drones, there's a lot of interest in payloads they can carry and also payloads they can drop from the air in flight. Is there the possibility? I know dropping things from aircraft is kind of a thorny subject, comes with its own regulations and rules. Is there the possibility of dropping stuff from the drones over the testing area?
Absolutely, yes. So dropping things is perfectly legal from any aircraft, as long as you make sure that everything on the ground is safe and there's no risk to people on the ground or in the air. So we are able to, if it's a simple drop, we can do that on some of the remote parts of the airfield here. If it's a little bit more complex, we actually have remote launch and recovery sites where we can take and drop pretty much anything. We can control that ground and really close it off and make the entire operation safe. So yes.
Okay, great. How about just a kind of an extension on that? How about shooting things off of drones like rocket type stuff?
That's that is a different kind of range designation. So in order to fire anything ballistically or rockets, things like that, we have to go through a special approval, and we have never done that. We fired lasers, and usually that's up to the company to get their own certifications for that laser, and then we close off the ground for it. But we would have to get special authorization to be able to fire something like a rocket or ballistics off of a drone.
Our range does butt up against, though, the Navy controlled restricted area 5701 to the west. So it has a Boardman bombing range within it that may present some opportunities. It's a little more complex to get into the restricted space, but we intentionally drew the range close to that. So it's probably, what do you think, Steve? 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive
About that, yeah.
to get to restricted airspace.
And we do have a corridor that if you have the range and we can keep it in visual line of sight, you can actually fly out the corridor. We can position visual observers, so you can go directly from the airport out to the restricted and back under our COA, handing it off to the restricted and then back onto the COA.
Awesome. I guess a final question, sort of in that line. A lot of interest in EW solutions these days. A lot of interest in counter UAS. Have you guys done any work out there? It's possible to bring some drones out there and do some counter UAS testing for products like that?
Yes, so we have had some customers work on that. We have facilities to be able to set up power and antennas or whatever it is you're doing. And so you can set all of that up, and then you can either just kind of watch the traffic that's happening out here, or you can put your own up. We've also had some of the companies hire manned aircraft, either helicopters or fixed wing, to give them set targets to track and things like that, all the way down to flying against smaller UAS.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. All right, we have a question from Joel here. What are key filtering criteria that you'll use when selecting candidates?
Yeah, good question, Joel. One of the first ones is, filling in the application, with all the information that you have available. We're looking for complete applications, which will help us to evaluate whether you're a good fit for us. As I said, we're really looking for innovators that are at the point of product service development where they need to take advantage of one of our ranges here in the state for testing. So that's a big thing. As an innovator, we're looking for folks that are coachable. We're going to be offering a lot of programming to you to help you, not only with your product, but your business and getting to market, whether that's business development or introduction to customers. So we're looking for somebody with a little bit of humility there. Also looking for the quality of your team and sort of where you are in that product development stage. How baked your product is. Obviously you're here to test, so you're here to test and perhaps break things and then fix them and test them again. That's why we have our on-site machine shop for you. But we're really looking for something that's in that testable. Again, I said it multiple times, but in that testable phase. And then kind of what your growth potential is with the product. Has it been done before? Is a good product market fit. We'll help you with that product market fit decision here through some of the coursework we're going to be offering. But we're really looking for something. We're really looking for products that we can help scale. And then lastly, have you had any traction with government or other paying customers? So please let us know about that. And then again, as I said, just kind of the quality of the idea. We're looking for things that are improving upon what's out there, and again have that ability to potentially scale up. So those are some of the things that we're going to be going over in terms of criteria when we're reviewing the applications.
And then along those same lines, what does the ideal candidate look like? You've kind of covered that a little bit, but.
Yeah, yeah, I think that what we just kind of went through covers that, yeah.
Does the program take in non-American citizens? And for the period in Pendleton, would the program support the relevant visas for the founders?
We've looked at that question, and right now, we're not sure. It's, we're a relatively small staff, and it's not something that we considered when putting together our operations plan. If at all, if we can, we will keep an eye out for our FAQs. That will be a question in our FAQ, and we will answer that question. However, at this time, we're not sure how we would accommodate that request.
We have asked the state's economic development department, which is Business Oregon, to look into what kind of help they could provide for folks in that realm. It's not something we had considered, but more to come. We'll get an answer from the state, and they're the ones funding what we're doing using lottery dollars. So we'll get an answer back to you here within 48 hours.
Cool. Do you have aircraft available for test flying sensors? Sort of, yes. We are building a number of test beds to be able to put sensors on and offer those. We do have a couple partners here on the airfield. One is also our training partner. They have aircraft available that they could be hired to put sensors on. And then we also have manned aircraft, both helicopter and fixed wing, with mechanics that go along with that. And so if a mechanic can sign off something simple on a manned aircraft, we can do that. Otherwise, we can lease the aircraft as a public entity and do public aircraft operations, in which case we would sign off the airworthiness there. But we are trying to build kind of a quiver of unmanned aircraft for specifically putting sensors on and testing. But we can definitely help you find something. Absolutely. We intend to assemble a significant portion of our system in Oregon. Any chance the program workshop is fully equipped to support, or should we have to sort our tooling? We have a pretty extensive prototyping facility. So everything from your basic hand tools, saws, all of that, up to a CNC mill and lathe. And then the machine shop is staffed by one of our partners. So there is a machinist on site here as well. And then we have a wide offering of partners within all throughout the state for various different assemblies. So if it's, carbon fiber or aluminum or all of that. So we can definitely find tooling for you. If we don't have it, we either purchase it or lease it, or one of our partners has it. Yes.
As I should add, I mean, if you're planning on coming here with a set of blueprints and starting from square one, it's probably not the ideal candidate for us. Our facilities are there for, I think, more, product improvement, fixing things. You're going to break things. You're going to, work on modifying the designs. However, if you've got to spend 3 months building the product and then, hopefully testing after that may not be the best fit for us. Again, you may be a better fit for our cohort 2, spending the next 6 months building out your product and then bringing it here for testing. And then once you start breaking it, we have plenty of facilities to help you build the things to fix it.
Perfect. Will the $40,000 funding be released to the founders during the period of the program or post pitch camp in September?
Our plan is to release the funding to our founders once they're notified of award within a week or two of that notification. I should also add that, in terms of use of funds, I mean, the use of funds is on your business. So, if you're working with an accountant, if your accountant is going to look at it and say, Uncle Sam's not going to like that, we're not going to like it either. So that's sort of the general rule to be using in terms of use of funds.
Perfect. All right, and then I think all of these came in at the same time. So we've got another, are non-resident citizens of the US eligible for the program? What level of support is provided on immigration matters? We're looking into that.
Yeah, and now if you're currently a citizen, you know, a non-resident citizen here on a green card or other methodology, that we don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to participate in the program.
All right. Do you currently use any property management software? Are there opportunities for software vendors? So with that, if you have a software that you're building for the UAS industry, by all means, or robotics, you know, that kind of thing, or if it's applicable to this industry and needs development, absolutely. If you're asking, do we need software to use with the CIE, we're always open to partners, again, if it's applicable to the industry. Anything else to add to that?
No, yeah, I think it's from a software perspective, there's lots of space in the US industry for software development. And what we offer is, you know, UASs are flying every day here at the Pendleton UAS test range. So if you're looking for targets or even to perfect, excuse me, your business model and how your software is working, if you need test data, this is an opportunity. That's the kind of opportunity that we would see innovators taking advantage of at one of our ranges.
And it also, on that same line, if you would like to reach out as a software mentor as well, partner, you know, look at our website and apply for that too, for sure. When operating beyond visual line of sight on the range, example, a small UAS at high altitude, what approaches for airspace safety does the range use or look for? Example, a transponder on the aircraft. So our local center does like to see a transponder on the aircraft. As you get outside of the Delta, it's not required, but we are required to keep the aircraft within visual line of sight of at least a visual observer. So we can either daisy chain observers all around the range, or we can use chase aircraft. But there is right now, other than one small corridor with a very specific aircraft, no actual beyond visual line of sight. But we are able to daisy chain throughout the entire 14,000 miles, square miles, all the way up to 15,000 feet with a chase aircraft. So that being said, larger aircraft at 15,000 feet, if you can see it and you can keep it separated, your VOs can be on the ground. If it's a small aircraft, you need to be able to chase it and keep it in sight. And to go along with the range's infrastructure, there are this is a comment. Infrastructure, there are mobile operation centers like the drone operations vehicles. What are those and how do they help with remote testing? Good question. So we have, along with the ground-based, the UAS pads with power, water, fiber, high-speed internet, all of that. We do have mobile operations centers. So we have two 35-foot toy hauler trailers, and we have a fully contained Nomad GCS, which is a four-wheel drive Ford F550, outfitted with the workstation in the back, two 35-foot pneumatic masts, and then a platform above the cab to be able to mount all kinds of equipment. We also have an ISU 90 that has a workstation with multiple screens and ability to strap antennas to the top. Anything I'm missing?
I think you got it.
Yeah. And we also have a classroom available for training, and then plenty of workspace inside the hangar.
Cool. Well, that is it for the questions in the queue. We appreciate everybody joining us today. As I said, I just kind of left this slide up here, you know, for you guys to have access to our social media. Please connect with us on our social media platforms, and the application is available right from the front page of our website.
So a couple more questions that came in via email. So one is potential accommodation plans for the program duration. So with as far as housing and things like that, we do have lots of hotel rooms that are available most of the year. Roundup is the only time that really gets super tricky. But we can also help find something that might be a little more affordable than a hotel for however many months you're here. So that's as you know, one-off rooms for rent. under.
rental houses.
Yep, and there are rental houses, there's a bunch of new apartments that have been put up, and we can definitely help find housing, before you get here and help you secure that and, make it affordable.
Great. Anything?
No, that was it.
So that's it. Okay. Well, again, if there's additional questions, please send them in via email. Please keep an eye out for our FAQs as well. But we look forward to receiving your applications and reviewing them. So get on it. Don't wait to the last minute, and we're watching them come in. So with that, we're going to sign off here from the Pendleton UAS test range. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Thank you.